Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 907. Hello, it is Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway here at the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Today it is part 2 of my Into an interview with Michael Shaw of the band An Intimate Evening with Michael Shaw, playing tonight at the Chapel in San Francisco this evening. Plus we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino,
Mike's Daily Podcast,
Bison Bentley. And to try and watch the debates last night, I had to drink a lot of vino.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And I discovered something I never knew before. That Baskin Robbins is on a trajectory to discourage the poor because their ice cream costs a whole lot more than I remembered. So for ice cream, I won't go there anymore. Let's go to Thrifty's for their strange squares. Scoops.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Why do I get depressed when I listen to the podcast by Greg Proops?
Mike's
He's so smart.
Daily
I hope he never dies
Podcast.
of a drug overdose.
Yeah!
He sure loves drugs. He talks about them a lot. I sure love ice cream. And a La Victoria burrito. La Victoria makes amazing burritos here in the Bay Area, and I didn't realize, but there's one on my ride home from work, and I could basically stop there every day if I wanted to be 700 pounds. But they lie when they say they put guacamole in their super burrito. They are lying. There's no guacamole in there at all. I have bought 2 and have found no guac. I don't get it. Just beware if you're in the Bay Area and have La Victoria burritos and their amazing orange yellow sauce that's spicy and just so yummy, and you just douse your burrito with it. Anywho, yeah, and Greg Proops always talks about drugs at the beginning of his show. It's like he just, and here's a show, something you might consider before, as you're listening to the show, doing some cocaine, he'll say. And you're like, what? Greg, no. That's never good in any circumstance. The Al Pacino, he was doing it in that movie where he had a scar and he shot machine guns, and now everybody wears them on their t-shirts. It's Thrifty's. Thrifty's is in Rite Aids. Did you know? So you can still get those strange square scoops of ice cream. I think that's fantastic, even though I never get it. Expensive ice cream is ridiculous. We've got a lot of these expensive hoity-toity ice cream places here in the Bay Area. And I am not going to spend $10 on a scoop of ice cream. Sorry, that's not important to me. If I'm that crazy about it, I'll try and make it myself. But gosh, give me cheap ice cream. That's all I have to say. Just to basically take some ice, pour some milk over it, call it ice cream, and give it to me. That's all I want. Look who just walked in.
Hello, my goodness, this is Madame Rootabega, and what are you talking about with the Baskin Robbins?
Yeah, I went there, and I thought, I'll just get like a shake. Like a small shake is $6 at Biscuits and Robbins, and Tony Robbins comes out and says, hey man, you can do better than this. Don't drown yourself in butterfat. Yeah, so that's what Madame Rootabega I found out.
Wow, my goodness, it's amazing.
Yeah. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we don't know what this Thrifty's ice cream is you're talking about there.
It's stuff that Thrifty's, I guess, became Rite Aid, and you would go there. I guess they still have ice cream places at a lot of them, and it was just a big kid's draw in the 80s. You'd go there, and they would serve ice cream with like a round squarish scoop. It wasn't just like a cool, random, boulder of ice cream scoop. You would get it was more conformed and control freaked, and so you would go, that's different. So on my bachelor party years ago, I went to visit my best man of my wedding was my wife's brother, ex-wife's brother, and we're actually still friends with the ex-wife's brother, but we met in San Jose for my bachelor party, which the bachelor party was going to see Sarah McLachlan. Yeah, that's not really unless Sarah McLachlan was dancing nude. How is that a bachelor party, Mike? Well, no, it was a concert, and it was in San Jose, and I was living in Southern California at the time, in Ventura, and so coming up for the show, anyway, I thought it was a good idea at the time, and she does a song called Ice Cream, so it comes back around, doesn't it? And we went to dinner at La Victoria's in San Jose, and I had their amazing orange sauce, which is this sauce that's like mixed with sour cream and some kind of spiciness, and it's amazing. It's like a hot sauce, cream sauce that you put on your burrito. Yes, it may sound gross to some of you. To a lot of Bay Area people, it's like manna from the heavens. And I had no idea that for my new job that I'm doing, when I come home from it, I passed by a La Victoria, so I stopped in twice so far and had 2 burritos, and that's when I discovered that when you buy a super burrito, when they say they're going to give you guacamole, they don't. Twice, there was no guacamole in my burrito. So that was an interesting revelation.
Mike, did you demand your guacamole day?
Yeah, you should command it.
Wait for it.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I just walked out. I'm like, I feel ashamed to be eating here anyway. And then I realized I must be gaining so much weight with this new job. But then I checked my weight it was the same as before the job. So maybe, a little fast food now and then isn't so bad. No, I got to stop thinking like that because it could cause all kinds of issues. When you get into your 40s, you really shouldn't be eating the fast food or anything else that has a bunch of fat and stuff in it. So, anyway, ice cream, Madame Rootabega.
Michael Masters, that was interesting. I will never die.
No, because you're immortal.
That's right.
Woo. Well, the website is mikesdailypodcast.com, where you can find links to where to listen to this show in iTunes. And if you do listen to us there, please rate and comment on the show so that more people find out about us and we don't languish in obscurity and have to never eat Baskin Robbins ice cream again, because apparently it's the best ice cream in the world and you should pay $6 for a tiny, tiny cup of their shakes. We're also on YouTube, SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podomatic, Mixcloud, Spreaker, Player FM, Ameristream Live. And on the weekends, I go country on the Country Crossroads radio, internet radio station. You can hear that every weekend. I'm on that from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. And a link to that at mikesdailypodcast.com. You can also comment on the show on our Facebook, facebook.com/mikesdailypodcast, and we're also on Twitter at Mike Talks, and we read your comments on the section emails from email and your common not so comments. And in fact, the email for that is mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Instagram, Yelp, and Tumblr. And if you want to help us out and you shop a lot on Amazon, there's a link to where you can go shop on Amazon, and that helps us out if you go through mikesdailypodcast.com. And if you want to become a Mike's Daily Podcaster, we'll send you a special greeting, an MP3 for thee from all of the cafe characters here at Cafe Anyway. Finally, there's the blog, the Daily Podcast picture, and all my past interviews at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Into an interview.
Sure.
I'm speaking to Michael Shaw of the band An Intimate Evening with Michael Shaw, and we are talking about a song. We were talking off mic, as they say, about his album, This Is It, which you can find. Where can they find that album, Michael Shaw?
It's streaming on Spotify for those that are non-committal. Also, you can buy it on iTunes, and that's basically it.
So look for This Is It and An Intimate Evening with Michael Shaw. I've been listening to a bunch of songs from it, and I love your piano and guitar playings going on, and the thundering anthem. It like builds, and it's some of it is very, I don't know. I'm just gonna throw out some words. John Lennon, ELO, I feel Beatles, because you've got these interesting layers of backup vocals. It's awesome.
Bingo. I mean, yeah, that's what I love, and that's what I wanted to do, and I think I was relatively successful. I think it came out pretty well. You know, I just love it's just based on where I'm from. I love British rock. I love ELO. I love Queen. I just love all those classics. Obviously, I love the Beatles, love the Who. There's little Beach Boys in there. Like, I just love the greats. And I guess, just some of that was channeled into the music. And, I think it's big. It's big and boisterous, and but there's also little tender bits in there as well. And I love dynamics in songs, so I tried to make the record as dynamic as possible. So,
and I read that this album was inspired by your mom. You lost your mom. I'm sorry to hear that happened.
Yeah, thank you.
And then you made the album, or didn't you start recording the day after or something like that? What was the story along with that?
Yeah, we recorded the basics about 10 days after she passed away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So the songs were kind of written, right after she had been diagnosed. So some of the songs are directly related to her. I mean, if you look at the album, every song's about a person.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's basically what happened. And, Wise Words was specifically written about her. And then Gooseberry Fool was also written indirectly about her, but it's basically like towards my family in general, or like probably my father more than anybody.
Having them deal with
lyrical. Go ahead.
Having them deal with that she actually realizing that she had cancer to anyone when.
Yeah, I mean it's like she has glioblastoma, which is the most aggressive form of cancer there is, or maybe not cancer, but definitely brain cancer, and. Nobody's really dealing with it and able to, but everybody's in denial. There's a stage of denial for a while, and that's what that song was kind of written about, So, the Queen is waving so long. I mean, like a lot of the lyrics, like my mother has, we're British, so she had a little Queen Elizabeth statue that sat right next to her bed, and it was powered by a little solar panel, so like the royal wave, the Queen was making that little royal wave.
Oh my!
So that all of this kind of the imagery of me just sitting by her bed with her there and the Queen waving, and so that all made it into the song, which is great. I mean, it's a really special song for me because it definitely captured that moment, and even though it was bittersweet. I mean, we had a lot of good times, a very close family, and we're just hanging out, and just, through struggle comes art.
Right. So. And has your family heard this song?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're big fans.
Was it like a kind of provide healing for them with all the pain of what you guys went through?
Yeah, a little bit. It came on a couple of months ago, maybe. And my sister was there, and she's like, oh, like just fondly, like she knows what the subject matter is, and she was just fondly remembering my mom. And,
wow.
Like I said, it's bittersweet, like it reminds you of your mom, and which is great, but it's also a reminder that she's no longer with us. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a huge, epic rock song. I mean, I think it's like 5 minutes long or something, right? It's a pretty long song.
It's great. And Gooseberry Full is a British dish that is bittersweet. Is that what you were telling me? So
yeah, it's a dessert. It's a dessert.
A dessert.
So you've got the bitterness from the gooseberries, and the fool is like, the the cream and the meringue. So,
Wow.
yeah, doff of the hat to my British heritage.
This is so British. I would do a British accent right now, but it's horrible.
Come on, mate. Come on, Michael.
Give us a grin. So an intimate. Hello. Okay, that's great.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's all right.
Give us a smile.
Keep it going. Hey, man, hey, listen, I know you have a little character.
Oh, my gosh, you've listened to the show.
You should have a British character, inspired by me, even though I have a full-on Californian accent. But you should do, like, an intimate evening with, I don't know, Ivan. And it should be I don't know.
No. Ian.
Nigel. No, an intimate evening with Nigel.
Nigel.
Be like a British accent. Yeah.
Hey, Michael, it's Nigel.
English nerd name.
Nigel the nerd from Britain. How are you today?
Yeah, see, there you go. You got it done.
You like I'm a little bit, I'm kind of my lazy
You're a little
accent.
bit slow.
I'm a little slow because if I talk quickly, then I won't know all the slang that I'm supposed to be saying.
All the British slang throws me. I have no idea what everyone's saying. All the quick little stuff, and they flip sentences around and stuff. It's fun. When I watch Doctor Who, I have to watch with the subtitles because I don't know what they're saying sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what they're saying sometimes too.
Well, you can
Seriously.
You can teach us, but I think the people in England would love your take on the music that was made popular there in America. Yeah. And this is a great one. Gooseberry Full. It's an intimate evening with Michael Shaw from the album This Is It on Mike's Daily Podcast.
I don't wanna live without you now. I don't wanna say goodbye. The queen is waiting so long. The Joker's known it all along. Yesterday came suddenly, like a car crash you cannot see. I'm looking at your eyes to see wrong. There's nothing telling lies till the sun is shown. What you gonna do? I guess very fool. So you think I'm too blind to see my world crumbling in on me? Well, I got some news for you, boy. The king's no fool, believe you me. Looking at your eyes, you see wrong. There's no use telling lies, the sun is shown. Looking at your eyes tonight. What you gonna do? I guess very fool.
An Evening with Michael Shaw. And there is Michael there. We'll have part 3 of our Into an Interview with him tomorrow.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the podcast picture is a cartoon that features one of the cafe characters. I haven't figured out who it is. So if you want to see what the cafe characters look like, please go look at the cartoon now.
Michael Master, I wanted to ask you, what is ice cream?
It's that cold stuff.
I know what it is. Ah!
You know, I feel as if you and I don't really connect on any sort of level.
Michael Master, we connect on many levels because you, in fact, are me. But I am you. And cookie chew.
Was that a Beatles reference?